everyone, and welcome to Pops and Hisses, a music podcast where we talk to bands you love, talk about concerts, and answer your burning music questions. I'm your host, Kevin Coffey, and in this episode, we're talking about the biggest and best concert tours headed out this year, 2022. And this year, as you may know, concert tours are back in full force. Everyone who didn't tour in 2020 and then wanted to tour in 2021 is back this year. Most every big arena tour was postponed until this spring or summer, or lots of them that were canceled and rescheduled for this year too. So it seems like everyone's headed out on tour. Of course, all of that is with a big fat caveat. A lot of things are still canceling, still rescheduling, trying to be adaptive as they can during this COVID-19 pandemic. Real quick, I want to remind you, you can listen to the Pops and Hisses podcast and find music news, reviews, and interviews at popsandhisses.com. So I combed through a multitude of concert calendars, tour announcements, and all kinds of other stuff to bring you information on these highly anticipated tours. As always, check that artist's website to find the most up-to-date tour and ticketing information. Like I said before, very important to be doing right now. And I always recommend buying tickets directly from the venue or from the website or ticketing vendor listed on the venue website. So all that said, let's get into it. Topping our most anticipated list for concert tours is Billie Eilish. So the Happier Than Ever tour was announced last year after Billie Eilish had canceled her previous tour. But in the meantime, Eilish released a new album, Happier Than Ever, and she said was a self-reflection from things she was thinking about during the pandemic, and it's considered one of the best albums of last year, and it was also nominated for 7 Grammy Awards. Lucky us. Catch her on tour if you're able to. That's going to be a good one. Also on the list is Dua Lipa. The Levitating Singers heading out on tour with openers Megan Thee Stallion, Caroline Polachek, and Lolo Zouai. The double bill of Dua Lipa and Megan Thee Stallion is a big one, and it's going to be something else to see. That'll be a really fun night if you're able to catch that one. That's out there from February 9th to April 1st. Country star Eric Church is also on the list. He's been on the road since last September, and his tour has been going strong. He's in the middle of it actually right now, and he'll still be on the road through May. Church has a lot of material to play, having released 2 albums last year, Heart and Soul. Those are a cool one to listen to together. Puerto Rican rapper and singer Bad Bunny is headed out on tour. Obviously, he's been having a big couple of years. He's going out in February, finishing on April 9th. And then later this year, he's doing a stadium tour. So that's a separate tour. That's 29 more dates in stadiums. And those are going to be big party feel shows because he's touring with Alesso and Diplo, who are both joining him on that set of dates. That should be a big one. Stay tuned for those dates because those stadium dates haven't been announced quite yet. Elton John is also on tour. The one and only Sir Elton continues his Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. Actually, he's postponed a couple. This was announced just today as I'm recording this, but he tested positive for COVID-19, so a few shows for the next week or so have been rescheduled, but he's still doing a series of small tours and small runs for this Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. He's going to retire from constant road dates. The 74-year-old singer wants to spend more time with his family. Makes sense. Less time in hotels, less time in concrete-walled backstage rooms in the back of arenas. So I've actually seen this tour. Came to town through here a couple years ago, pre-pandemic. And yeah, he's been doing it that long. And it's a really good time. The set is really cool. The entire stage is surrounded by an actual yellow brick road. And of course, he plays just about every song from his catalog you would ever want to hear. Also on the list, Tyler, the Creator. So the rapper's headed on the road through April for his Call Me If You Get Lost tour with Kali Uchis, Vince Staples, and Tizo Touchdown. That's quite a lineup. And it also follows Tyler's Call Me If You Get Lost album. That's widely considered the best album of 2021. So if you have this one coming to your town, consider yourself damn lucky. Go out and get tickets. You will enjoy yourself. I've seen Tyler, the Creator before, and he's just absolutely on fire in a live setting. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Decemberists when they head out on tour. Just like in their song Sons of Daughters, the Decemberists are urging us to arise from the bunker on their Arise from the Bunker tour and head out and see a show. The verbose indie rock band is headed out on tour for a month in August for a limited amount of venues, going all over North America, all over the United States, but maybe not coming to your town. Check their website to see if they're coming near you. Real quick, let's look at some tours, though, that were scheduled for this year, but have already been canceled or postponed. First off is The Weeknd. He canceled all his previous dates, but now promises a new tour with new dates to be announced later this summer. So keep an eye out for those. There's also The Fugees. They had a 25th anniversary tour, but recently canceled. So a lot of people are bummed about that. That would have been really cool to catch them. This has been big in the news lately, but Adele's Las Vegas shows got canceled, and she updated fans only a day before it was set to start. So some fans obviously upset because they were already in Las Vegas ready to see those first couple of shows. But she's promised that they're going to reschedule for later this summer. So she's urging fans to keep their tickets and catch her residency when it comes back. A big one I was excited for, if it was going to come near me, was Rage Against the Machine postponed the start of their public service announcement tour, which was set to begin in May. They're touring alongside Run the Jewels, one of my favorite groups, and those dates should be rescheduled. The tour resumes in July, and those May dates should be kind of tacked on the end, so look for those to be re-announced for the end of the summer. Back to big tours we're excited for. So My Chemical Romance, this is a much anticipated reunion tour. They're kicking it off in the UK and Europe before starting up in North America in late August. So like others on this list, they've had to juggle cancellations and reschedules, but it looks like maybe they're good to go pending, new variants and things like that. So they're also headlining the When We Were Young Festival, the Las Vegas Fest, with a lot of emo bands and contemporaries of My Chemical Romance. If you want to spend a lot of money and be in Las Vegas, that would be a good time. That fest has actually expanded to 3 separate days in October. I think 23rd, 24th, and 25th. In my opinion, it's pretty pricey for what you would get, though pretty awesome bands on the lineup. If you're a person of a certain age, like myself, those are a lot of bands you grew up with, so it'd be a really good time. And obviously, My Chemical Romance is headlining that, along with Paramore and some others. Also out on tour this year is John Mayer. So after last year's Sob Rock, the singer-guitarist is headed on tour to play that record, which was inspired by the soft rock he grew up to listening in the 80s, hence the title Sob Rock. It's also got a nice pastel cover. That's a fun one. And Mayer's tour kicks off in February, continues through April. Maybe one of the biggest tours on this list is Justin Bieber. The Biebs rescheduled his 2021 world tour for this year, and he's headed out on tour starting in February. His album Justice was released last year, and this tour will take him quite literally all over the world. He's going so many places, doing so many things, that the dates actually stretch into 2023. So if you're looking at that tour, some of those are a whole year away or more. Another big one that'll be cool, I've seen her before, and it's a really good time, is Lorde. She released Solar Power last year, and now Lorde is headed out on tour for kind of a limited amount of dates. Those are all in April and May. She might have more to announce later. It'll be the first time, though, we'll be able to hear her play Solar Power live outside of, maybe a few talk show performances. So it'll be a good time to catch those songs if you dig that record. Last on the list is Haim. The Haim sisters haven't really been on tour or on the road at all since 2018, even after releasing Women in Music in 2020. Of course, anybody who released an album in 2020 and hoped to play a summer tour that year, sadly didn't get to do it. But now they're on a tour called One More Haim Tour from April through June this year, and that one will be a really good time. I've seen them live a couple of times, and they're just so good. Thanks for listening to me talk about concert tours coming this year. Those obviously aren't the only tours out there, just some of the biggest, some of the best. I urge you to check the listings at your local venues and support those local venues. Almost all music venues out there are small businesses, and after having been shut down a lot and having spotty tours and lots of cancellations, they definitely need your support right now. So go out there and support them. Buy a t-shirt, buy a concert ticket, whatever you got to do. Also, get up-to-date information on all the tours I talked about by visiting the artist's website. And make sure you get your tickets from the local venue or through the ticketing provider that they mention on their sites. I also want to mention the best thing you can do to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and to make sure your favorite band is coming to town is to get vaccinated. The data is pretty simple and it's easy to understand. People experience less intense symptoms, go to the hospital less, and die much, much less when they've been vaccinated. It's been a popular meme. If you're a concert person like me, music person, big fan, you've seen it, but it's true. Vaccines are a gateway drug to concerts. If you want your favorite concert tour to actually come to town, get vaccinated and encourage your friends to do it too. Please subscribe to the Pops and Hisses podcast on your favorite podcast app or head to popsandhisses.com where you can listen to the podcast and find more music news, reviews, interviews, and podcast episodes. I'm your host, Kevin Coffey, and you can follow me on Twitter as @OmahaMusicGuy or find my page on Facebook by searching for Kevin Coffey. Thank you, as always, to Hurrdat Media for producing the show, and find lots more of our podcasts at hurrdatmedia.com/network. That's HURRDAT media.com. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
A Hurrdat Media Production.